Welcome to the Voice of Gen Z Journalist Edition, your Spotify podcast, Dabarkada at Palitaktakan Generation. Stay tuned, hold your seat and make sure you are in the right position. Just chill and enjoy our episode for you because we believe your voice matters and can make a huge impact in our future. Padayon! The Voice of Gen Z is production of Bachelor of Arts in Journalism. Welcome everyone. For today's episode, we will have varieties of topics that's relevant nowadays. Stay tuned, listen, and gather information as much as you can. Without further ado, our first topic will be game evolution. Alongside our experienced gamer, speakers to share information and other insight about games. Please welcome our gamer to represent gaming community. Hey guys, welcome to new episode of our podcast from the series of The Voice of Gen Z. I am Roland Castillo and I am here with my guests Mr. James, Miss Kaye, Miss Pam, and Miss Jania. How are you
Hello.
guys doing? While we're in the pandemic, since we are in the quarantine and we all know boredom hits different, but for gamers, it's good time to spend time in our favorite game, right? We prefer that. Do you discovered something that caught your interest rather than games while we're in the pandemic?
Thank you so much for the opportunity of being one of the speakers today. Beyond gaming, I've discovered amidst the pandemic that I must prioritize the things for my academics, my health, and more. It is helpful for me to be matured and to limit some activities that includes wrong time management.
Hello, thank you for having me here as a guest. Since we're in a pandemic right now, I know a lot of us getting bored because we cannot go out because of the COVID. But for me, this pandemic really taught me a lot. Except for gaming, I discovered a lot of talents that I can do, such as painting, cooking, singing, and dancing.
Thank you for having me here today. I'm doing well, and I have so many discoveries in my house besides playing online games. This pandemic is really rough, but I do writing so I can express myself. I've learned so many dishes that I can cook on my own and play a different online games.
Same as everyone, I'm doing great also. Thank you for having us. Since the pandemic happened, I read a lot of manga, manhwa, play games, and I also help my grandmother whenever she bakes sometimes. How about you, Roland? How are you?
Thank you very much. And I am feel great but mentally drained. Well, in our situation due to pandemic, we can do usual things we're doing to everyday basis, but at the same time, I am having fun because I can manage my time as student in online class like you all guys. I also experience stress, but I can manage it. But hopefully, everyone who experienced the same thing will be all right too. Like what I experienced, then it's so worse um somehow I able to manage my stress back then. So guys, if you have problem, please handle it carefully and take care of your mental health. Did you guess what our topic is for today? If you guessed games or game evolution, then you are correct. A game is an activity or sport usually involving skills, knowledge, or chance, in which they follow fixed rules and try to win against an opponent or to solve puzzle like chess, poker, Pac-Man, Minecraft, and etc. I assume you all guys are playing online games, right? And yeah, me too. I know the pandemic is really hard and really rough, but online games make that little bit easier. Now we are gonna talk about the game evolution. I know all you experienced the difference between the game before and game now. So I wondered what is your oldest game you ever played?
When I was a child, my family had PlayStation and PSP, which requires a compact disc or CD to play games. To play games, but it was destroyed then by some technical problems. Then, when I was elementary, my cousins had a computer shop where I played offline games on their computers. Because of these games, I play with my friends, also with my new friends at that time. And because of the internet, my friends and I can play online games from Y8, Crib, Miniclip, and so on.
For me, back when I was in elementary, my parents didn't allow me to play computer games in any computer shop. But I disobeyed their command for me so I can play games with my cousins such as Crossfire, games from Free, and Plants vs. Zombie. and we compile our money to be capable to play those games during those times of my childhood.
Seems like Kay is Suwail na daughter.
Oh,
Just
Oh,
kidding. Just
hindi.
kidding. There's a part of our life that we somehow disobey our parent just to get what we wanted, and that's the example of that. But that's not wrong. But rather something to explore in our childhood. So thank you very much for sharing, Miss Kai. Let's proceed to another one.
Oh yeah, I remember when I was a child, I used to pretend to play games such as Snake and Bounce. After so many years, when I was grade 7 or grade 8, that's actually the time when I got my personal phone. Because of this, I found a cheat code to play Bounce with a godlike health. Oh my god. As the time went by, I learned to play games on computer shops, and suddenly I searched for games online and I found Y8, Free and Y0 and searched for a particular game that I wanted to play before. I consume a lot of time for those games, and I don't care what my parents would do to me after playing those games.
As for me, I remember I started playing games when I was 9 or 10 years old. Not quite sure, but what I know is that I played a lot of games back then. The first game that I've been addicted to was Crossfire. It's still crystal clear in my mind that I played that game on both computer version and mobile game version at that time, and the year when Clash of Clans and the other infamous application. And also I played something with a disc where it has a varieties of games on it, where you will put a disc on DVD player connected to the television and controller. Probably one of the reasons why I'm introvert until now. I totally forgot that device, rather the disc that I played mostly in my childhood. It's kind of not ordinary, where I rather play games than go outside. And now I would like to call Miss Kai on how the games evolve.
Thank you, Mr. Roland. The evolution of gaming has been one of the most rapid shifts in any entertainment art form. Despite not existing until the latter half of 20th century, technology has improved so significantly since then that the video games have come to represent the bleeding edge of human ingenuity. Specifically, in the early days, some developers of digital games were discovered by the science fairs. The search of development of games from the game machine of Dr. Edward Uller into arcade gaming by the early company, Sega and Taito until the developers included the personal computers to have an opportunity to create a wider community of gamers. So, the games are not only playable offline but also online. The evolution of continues until the modern age of games has spreaded. We can play games on our personal computers, innovative game machines, and even with our smartphones, anytime and anywhere.
You and thank you very much. We all know the games before have a big difference to the game nowadays. The games we used to play on computers will now be able to play on mobiles. Share your experiences in mobile games. While for me, I started playing mobile games when I was in high school. I am grade 7 or 8 at that time when I got my first Android phone. I started playing offline games such as Minecraft, Temple Run, racing cars, games, etc. until I discovered online games. When we started having Wi-Fi at home, the game that I played that time was Clash of Clans, where I played that game for almost 7 years. I am still playing it though, but not that frequently compared to the past, where I finally have more access to varieties of games. When I got my another new phone, I start playing mobile games during the early age. I'm still playing it though, and like the mobile game, there is PUBG Mobile. The PUBG can be played in the computer, but now it can be played in the mobile. The same thing in the Code M or Code Mobile and more. To the point that I can't name every single one of them. Honestly, if you will ask me how many games I already played, I can only say few because I only have few games that I really love and I could name those. But if you will ask me what are the varieties of games that I have, I can name all of them because there's a lot of things. There's a lot of them. I mean, so thank you very much, and let's proceed. Let's proceed, Miss Kai.
Since you mentioned the back when 2019, my cousins told me that you should play Call of Duty Mobile, but I downloaded it, and by since I'm a newbie that time, I started to get bored, and I quit playing that. And this year, um, when the Call of Duty Mobile was popular on social media, I tried to play it again and I met a lot of friends there.
From 2019 until now, there's a lot of changes in games. Like Pam said, the graphics are great, the designs, it is now user friendly. You can play those games because of the technology right now, and you can play them online. Because of the internet, where you can play with other players and compete with them online. One of the example is that Solitaire is one of the games where you can play online to find a match that defines your ability to get higher score, less time to accomplish a deck, and so on.
This 2021, I played Sky, Children of Light. With this game, I've met new friends from different countries online. It's a relaxing game to play with, although some maps do make me nervous because of the monsters that look like shrimps, but it is called grills. However, I think that it is a great game with great graphics and design. I'm looking forward to how I will grow as a player there.
Okay, thank you very much for sharing some insight, rather some experiences. What are the favorite games that you played before and until now? Are you still playing? Share your experiences with that game.
My favorite game before is Fruit Ninja. I know it sounds like what really a confusing part because we all know kids play Fruit Ninja because there's a lot of games. Why Fruit Ninja? But yeah, I love how the fruit slice. It's satisfying, and I really enjoyed playing that game. And until now, I'm still playing that game, and also Super Mario.
When I lost my account, that's the worst feeling of gamers, since we all know that once the game we love is been lost, the progress, our friend online, and the account we spent so much time, efforts, and money suddenly disappeared. That's just drastic despair for a gamer like me. The same scenario happened to my mobile game account. I actually into top up for my game and spend money on it, probably worth more than 5k, something like that. But those money was being used for a years for from small spend I made in game. I just went back to my favorite game recently due to pandemics, and I really enjoying it.
Well, as for me, ever since I've downloaded the game Sky, it became my favorite until now. I always get bored after a while when I'm playing games, but it is the opposite of this game.
Yes, thank you very much. And I'd like to share my experience back then whenever I'm playing the I am the bata of com shop, batang com shop, that I prefer going to com shop or anywhere rather anywhere else just to play games that I love to back then. And if I have chance, I will go to the same thing that I doing right before. And the funny experience that I experienced back then is I guess you all guys experience this the same thing where their headphones in the com shop, especially in PisoNet. Oh my god, if you
As well,
So
if you
it's
Oh
can,
my
so disgusting. Like what the
it's something that if you see the dugyot kind of like that, you will
yeah,
you will definitely get a smell
yeah,
it.
so disgusting.
oh my god.
But
you
because
No,
you don't have choice but to play it with kind of disgusting appearance, wala ka nang pake kasi gusto mo lang maglaro kahit even though it's so dirty, you don't care at all, considering that we are young at that time, and so we don't have such things like that, na hindi tayo gaano sensitibo sa mga ganung bagay. So let's proceed naman. For our next question will be, is there any discomfort or disturbance like noise, focus, etc. When playing the games, just like this, whenever we're talking, there's a dog barking in the background, like that.
Yes, we can't escape the fact that the bugs when we played the games. There's a lot of bugs when we play the game, but soon as you play the game, the noise can be fixed.
My problem is the lagging because of internet connection.
Yes, that's the worst problem for our gamers whenever we experience lag. We will have the what we call this, yeah, sobrang inis na inis tayo kasi we can execute our best skill, rather hindi na nabubwisit tayo dahil sobrang lag
True.
talaga. No, parang we can execute our true skill in the games. Yes. Okay, let's proceed. Go.
Uh, with my experiences of mine, I can play games even with distractions, including internet connection. But sometimes I can play I can play games because of the noises, but sometimes I can.
For me, I experience a lot of distractions, like the noise in my environment. I have a lot of cousins. They are so noisy. Like I can focus on the game because sometimes they will, hey ate, um can you play with me like that and sometimes my mom will nag me or order me to do something like while I was in the game like princess, can you wash the dishes na like kanon.
Kawawa.
I totally agree with that. I remember whenever I'm playing, right before I started the game, my mom will yell me, "Hey, Roland, halika dito."
So
Oh, I
Uh,
feel
you
that.
yeah.
I feel that.
you don't have
You're
any choice but to do that. To do
you're
it
Mm-mm.
they
kahit
go
na
to
labag sa
do.
True.
loob niyo. Okay. Let's proceed. Thank you very much for telling us some experiences you all have, and let's go to another one. How about, do you believe that games create an impact on us? Do you believe that?
Yes, I would answer that. My answer is yes. Games
Mhm.
create a big impact on us. We all see how different the game was before and the game today. Before we can play our favorite games or on our gadgets, we need to get the console where a game works and use controllers and television to fulfill the great experiences of our games. Today, we have different choices on how we play games, whether online or offline. And those developments are still valuable on how a game was developed, innovated, and established for the future.
Yes, because we have a variety of things that we could use to play our favorite games, such like the console that you could use your television, your what else? There's a variety of things that we could use. Is To be honest, and let's proceed to another one. I am curious, what are the most played games since the year 2000s and now in the year 2021?
To answer you, Mr. Roland, in the early 2000s, the most popular game is Wii Sports, a sports simulation, and in 2021, the most popular games is Fortnite, a survival game.
Thank you very much for information, Ma'am Pamela. And I do really love the conversation we had to this moment. I really enjoyed our podcast tonight, and I didn't notice that it seems like we're running out of time. Thank you very much to our listeners in our podcast. See you next time for the next episode. Thank you to our wonderful guests, Miss Jania, Miss Kai, Miss Pamela, and Mr. James. This is your host for today, Roland J.G. Castillo, and you are listening to the voice of Gen Z. Thank you very much for spending time with us. Hopefully, this isn't the last time we will hang out every morning at 10 a.m. Always remember, your voice matters. Hashtag the new generation, a BHA production. So stay tuned, keep safe, and peace out.